From folklore and fairies
to monsters and mysteries, it came from the Maritimes.
Hi everyone, welcome to It Came From The Maritimes, an Atlantic Canada folklore podcast. I'm Chelsea, and this is my co-host Evan.
Howdy.
We have a Maritime mini for you today. Gracie Grey was a mysterious maiden of curious circumstances. How's that for alliteration?
Love it.
Her childhood history is largely unknown, but she was raised from a young age on Strathgartney, the country estate of Robert Bruce Stewart, which he built after he moved to Prince Edward Island in 1861. This estate was built on the highest hill in PEI, which is not necessarily super high compared to other places, but it was known for its beautiful view of the Northumberland Strait. It's located about 20 miles outside of Charlottetown. Now, Gracie Grey was brought up with Stewart's 9 children, but since she was not his child, she paid her keep by helping with errands around the property. One cold winter afternoon in March 1888, Gracie left for the village to buy the family's groceries. Unfortunately, she got caught in a great blizzard on her return. The storm was so severe that it became known as the Great Blizzard of 1888. It resulted in wind gusts of 72 kilometers an hour and snowdrifts as high as 15 meters along the eastern seaboard of North America. Now, this brings me back to the storm that was called White Juan, which occurred when we were children in Nova Scotia, and we had to help shovel the driveway, and the snow was piled up as high as my second-story bedroom window, and instead of shoveling the driveway, Evan shoveled holes in the snow over the yard.
Hey, I get roasted all the time for this, and I want to say I just genuinely could not tell where the yard was and the driveway was. It's hard to know when there's that much snow.
Right. I feel like at one point I just ended up sitting in the snow crying. So being caught in this great blizzard does not sound like my idea of a good time.
No, it definitely isn't.
Now, the Stewart family didn't worry when Gracie was delayed because they assumed that she had stopped at a neighbor's house to seek refuge from the violent weather. Sadly, this was not the case. Gracie had been close to the estate when the storm really picked up speed, so she decided to just keep going. She had been walking along the stretch of road called Gloomy Blues Hollow when the weather turned.
Sorry to interrupt here, but I love the name Gloomy Blues Hollow.
Right? Honestly, it's just such a mood to it.
Exactly.
Gracie continued along this road, hoping to warm up with a hot meal and drink once she was safely indoors again. She kept trudging through the heavy snow. As she got closer to the house, she started calling for help in the strong wind, but unfortunately, no one heard her cries. She grew weaker and weaker and ended up collapsing yards away from the gated entrance to the estate. 3 days later, once the storm had settled down, searchers found the basket full of preserves, which Gracie had hung on a tree branch when her journey became perilous. They started digging in the surrounding snowbanks and eventually found her frozen body under 3 feet of snow. The searchers carried her inside to her bedroom on the 3rd floor, hoping against the odds that she could be revived. But sadly, the warmth the room offered was not sufficient to bring her back. Soon after her death, strange occurrences began. Gracie Grey's spirit has been seen roaming the property and standing forlornly by the gate where she met her end. She has also been seen walking along the road, repeating her final footsteps on Gloomy Blues Hollow. One day, one of Stewart's children was riding his horse home when he felt a pull on the right stirrup of his saddle. He looked to his right and was shocked to see Gracie Grey walking alongside him. The fright caused him to collapse from shock. Most of the sightings of Gracie have been on the 3rd floor of the estate, near her old bedroom. Her ghost has been seen walking in and out of the room, or Gracie's weaving loom will start by itself. Although it's been centuries since Gracie's passing, her spirit is still seen walking along the road or in the estate, which has since been turned into an inn. If you ever do wander down Gloomy Blues Hollow, keep your eye on the side of the road. You never know when Gracie Grey will decide to keep you company. Thoughts?
I'm just wondering, have you ever stayed at this inn?
I haven't, but it's on the list now. I honestly did a quick search and could not find exactly where the inn is, so I don't know if it's still a functional inn, but
We'll need to take a search for it.
That's it. We'll be doing some Googling. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of It Came From The Maritimes. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It Came From The Maritimes, on X at ICFT Maritimes. And if you have any Atlantic Canada folklore you'd like to see covered, or if you have any spooky encounters of your own, email us at itcamefromthemaritimes@gmail.com. If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and review to help others find us. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.